Good morning, not yet.
Here we go.
We're live?
Yes, sir.
Live on Troy Cablevision. Mike Amos, Forrest Lee, bringing you the show on live on Facebook this morning. And good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. And that's Lower Alabama for most of you know. And of course, good to have my friend Forrest Lee back with us. And what's going on?
Well, Mike, I had a wonderful dinner with my daughter, Abby Lee, last night at B. Graves.
Oh, was that nice?
And I got about 4 different vegetables. I got the succotash, I got the collards, I got the buttery, creamy spinach was unbelievable. That's the best spinach I've ever eaten in my life.
What, really?
And I had some mashed potatoes.
What kind of fish was it?
Spinach.
Oh, spinach.
Creamy spinach.
Oh, okay.
And she had a filet mignon.
Yeah.
And she had some French fries and some green beans, and we had some of those fried pimento cheese balls.
Yeah. What kind of meat did you eat?
I ate 1 or 2 pieces of hers, but I had the vegetables. I got the same thing last time I was there.
Of course, B. Graves is located on the corner in downtown Troy. Excellent place to eat. There's no question about it. They got a chef there that is the real deal.
He can do it. He can do.
Of course, we got a lot going on today and the rest of the week. Doug Patterson, the Vice Chancellor of Troy University for so many years and so instrumental in the growth of Troy University over the last 25, 30 years. And
he was a board member for the Troy City Board of Education, too.
He did it all. He really was. For 15 years he was on that board, and of course did so many things to make good judgments on which way Troy University was going to move, and the things that would make Troy University great. Doug Patterson was right there in the middle of it.
Right. Well, his daughter Natalie, I called her Nat. Pat,
Yeah.
Natalie Patterson, and super sweet, genuine person. I had her in physical education, and I remember she's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
If I remember, and I remember her taking a flag football class. Her and Addie Felix and some of those girls. We had
Addie Felix was a good athlete. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, and Elizabeth Williford and
Yeah.
Mike Hall's daughter. I can't call her name right now. I could see her.
Yeah.
B. Gaskin, all that bunch when I first got there. They were real good athletes. They loved badminton and flag football. They had fun when they came to school.
Oh yeah.
And Natalie's married to Randy Bryant, the head football coach at Zion Chapel. Does he have any more children besides Natalie?
Yes, he has another daughter.
Yeah, I never taught her.
Yeah.
But anyway, our thoughts and prayers go with the Patterson family. I know he was real close to Dr. Doug Hawkins.
Well,
not Doug, but Doug too.
Dr. Jack and Doug Hawkins.
Dr. Jack.
Best of friends, like brothers. Yeah. They were just like brothers, and of course he was
and he a Marine.
Bright, yeah, both of them were Marines. They both grew up in Mobile, and they both went to Montevallo, University of Montevallo, and then they went to work with the School of the Deaf and Blind.
Yes, sir.
That's where Dr. Hawkins got his start, and that's where he really started working full time with Dr. Jack Hawkins during that period of time, and then for so many years as the Vice Chancellor of the Troy University system.
Yes, you talked about the Alabama School for the Deaf and Blind. When I was coaching in LaGrange, Georgia at Whitesville Road Middle School, it was a feeder to Troop High.
Yeah.
Well, the head coach at Troop, he would schedule us some games. Darrell Daniel wrestled at Auburn under Sonny Lumbaugh.
Yeah.
But we wrestled the Alabama School for the Deaf and Blind, and our wrestlers had to learn how to, when you start with them, you had to touch them.
Yeah.
But if you ever lost contact, the ref would stop the match where you could touch each other.
Uh-huh.
So they would know where you were.
Yeah.
And that was a neat experience for those wrestlers.
You call that name out, Sonny
Lumbaugh.
All right. Swede Umbach. You ever heard that name?
Yes, sir.
Swede Umbach was the guy that founded wrestling at Auburn.
That's it. That's the guy. I'm sorry, Swede. Yeah.
Well,
but Daryl Daniel.
Isn't it amazing that I can keep that in my in my vocabulary up here? I would say something about him, and Jimmy Norman and some of those folks out there that played on that team will realize he had a son named Arnold Umbach that back in the days of Little League Baseball, Troy played Auburn for the championship of the district, and by winning the district, they would move on to the region. Mm-hmm. It was the best Troy baseball team I can remember with Jimmy Norman and a lot of those guys, Richard Williford and Rip Talbot and all those guys. But he had a son named Arnold Umbach.
Arnold.
All right. Arnold Umbach later played with the Milwaukee Braves. I mean, with the Atlanta Braves. Wow. His son did, and they beat us 2-1 and moved on and almost made it to Williams.
Well, if you go fishing with Jimmy Norman, and if you're in a boat and you're fishing with Jimmy, and he's catching fish over here, don't throw your pole over there where his fish are coming in, because he'll throw worms down your back. He and Miss Martha were fishing one day, and he was catching, and so she threw her hook and line and worm over there near his, and they got in an argument, so he threw some worms down her shirt. Yeah. Miss Martha. He told me that story about a year ago.
I saw Martha yesterday. They're moving their folks into a magnificent home on Crow Hill, and a beautiful place. By waiting for Mike Amos to call from Great Beach this morning, let me tell you this. I've got a. They say that it wasn't even an inch of rain last night. That was the worst rainstorm I have ever been in my entire life.
I woke up.
That was a hard rain. And good morning. How you doing?
Morning.
We were talking about how hard it rained in Troy last night.
Thunder, lightning.
And I was trying to sleep, and boy, it just came down as hard as I've ever realized.
It was about between 2 and 3, somewhere in that neck of the woods.
And buddy, it was hard. And somebody call in and tell us if you had a bunch of rain. I didn't hear of anybody having over an inch, but you would almost guess it was over an inch. I'm gonna have to check Crow Lake this morning to make sure it's not gonna blow over, because there was a lot of rain last night. Last night, Troy went to Alabama State and beat them pretty good. What was that final score?
I think it was 16-6, and we played. Is it University of Central Florida this weekend? One of those young fellas belted 2 home runs. What's his name?
His name is Logan Cerny, and he was last week he hit a bunch of home runs and had 7. Now he had 9. He hit 2 last night.
Right. Dalton Singlefield hit 1, and Jesse Hall. And Central Florida played someone very close. It was either Florida or Florida State. I could look it up.
Yeah.
They lost 6-5, but they roll into town this Friday. First pitch at 6 o'clock.
It's gonna be a real good weekend for quality baseball, no question about it. Against the University of Central Florida, those games start at 6 o'clock on Friday. I want to say 3 o'clock on Sunday, and then 1 o'clock on 3 o'clock on Saturday and 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Hey, Michael, I didn't know till I read it this morning that the Sun Belt Commissioner Keith Gill was very complimentary of the women and their run in the tournament, and he also mentioned that they were very excited of the things that happened in the Pensacola Bay Center arena for basketball, but didn't get a lot of good feedback from when they had to play at Pensacola State. But they may move the tournament. The ladies play one week, the men play the other week.
Yeah.
But I did not know that the baseball, Sun Belt baseball, will be at Riverwalk Stadium for the next 5 years.
That's going to be great. That's going to be
we talked about that
next 5.
Back,
and go ahead, Mike.
Great town.
Well, another thing, it's like with the baseball championships coming in, it's got Johnny Williams written all over it.
Yeah, basketball, Pensacola.
He worked it out with the the guy that's over everything in scheduling for the Sun Belt.
Yeah. Basketball in Pensacola.
Yeah,
baseball.
Century now has homered in consecutive at-bats and back-to-back games. He's now the Sun Belt best 9 home runs on the year. The sophomore now has 3 multi-homer games this season. Jesse Hall hit his first career home run. It was a grand slam in the top of the first inning. This is interesting here. Drew Frederick finished 2 for 5 at the plate. He has extended his own base streak now to 29 games in a row.
Wow.
That's a record. That's a Troy record, isn't it? I don't
Well,
know
that's
how.
just, being on base every game. His streak is now at 13 games, both career best.
He's a great player out of Pensacola, and really a great player. And of course, the other Cerny is turning out to be a superstar. I want to say he's a center fielder, isn't he? And he's also
Mosley's the center fielder, I think.
no Mosley's a left fielder, Mike. I've been there enough.
Mosley used to play center. I thought.
No, Mosley, he is the left fielder, and Cerny the center fielder, and then the right fielder is also a very good player. Tell me, and you win a cup of coffee, the right fielder. But they got a good baseball team at Troy, and Coach.
Well, they're kind of struggling. They're only 11-9. They're not great by any means.
Yeah, I know it, but you come off of a double-header victory over a very good team from Georgia Southern, and then you've got you've won 3 in a row, so you're off to a pretty good start now. This weekend's big-time baseball coming in there with Central Florida, and they're very good.
Like I said, the Knights of Central Florida lost in extra innings last night to Florida State. Florida State beat them in 10 innings, 6-5.
Yeah.
So they'll roll in strong.
Mike Amos calling from Grayton Beach, Florida. Is it supposed to clear up down there? A lot of people still wanting to go on vacation.
I think today is like some severe weather threat throughout Alabama. I don't know how bad it is down here. I think we're not supposed to get rain until later this afternoon.
Again, I want to mention that for the second week this year, Logan Cerny has been named Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. Also, another Sun Belt Conference winner this week is Leanne Johnson, the great pitcher out of Brantley, Alabama. She's now 12-3 on the year, and she was named Pitcher of the Week in the Sun Belt Conference. And boy, she is really, really good. Of course, Goshen, the Goshen Eagles have won 6 straight. How about that?
In baseball?
Yeah.
They're rocking and rolling, and they're getting into the meat of their schedule right now. And Pike County Lady Bulldogs, I read in the Troy Messenger today, they're 6-2 on the season at Pike County High School. They're 1-1 in the area. They lost to Opp and Carroll. Their coach is Amber Kidd.
Yeah.
And they got 4 straight area games coming up. March 30th against New Brockton. They're going to play Goshen, Opp, and then New Brockton again. So, and this weekend, the Charles Simpson Trojans are going to Florida. They're going to play today. They're going to play Gulf Breeze, weather permitting. Then tomorrow, they'll play Milton, and then Saturday they end up playing Pensacola Catholic, which is a powerhouse.
Real good team.
And so that's what's going on there.
Of course, Pensacola has always been good baseball, and one of the teams is Tate High School. You've heard of Tate High School? That's where a lot of the great players have come from. Want to mention also Doug Patterson's funeral will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. from the Claudia Crosby Theater, and that's on the Troy University campus. That's got plenty of room, and I would not doubt if they didn't fill every seat for that great man who has gone to be with our Lord. And also another good friend of mine, William Matthews. Bill Matthews died this week, and he was 77 years old and a well-to-do builder, contractor of metal buildings. He brought metal buildings to this area. and I would think that about every metal building you see out there, he's been a part of it. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. Will Matthews.
Will Matthews. Good to hear from you, Will. Hold on 1 minute. Let's just bring Mike in here. Well, we've got one Will. Will, what's going on?
Not much. Just headed to work.
Of course, Will Matthews with the Matthews Law Firm, and of course does so many things in our area. And of course, you're the judge here a lot. Is that right, Will?
Every now and then, they let me come up there and be judge.
Well, you've been.
I enjoy helping them.
How about your basketball brackets? How are they doing?
No, you can throw that in the trash.
Well, most everybody can.
Yeah, we lost him.
But I do have Alabama in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I've got Gonzaga in the Final
Well,
Four.
that's pretty good.
I got Illinois in the Final Four.
Well, they got beat.
And I'm trying to think who the other one was.
It wasn't Michigan, was it?
No, I got Alabama in that.
Yeah,
bracket.
that's right. Alabama looks pretty good. A lot of people think if Alabama continues to play like they're doing,